Welcome to Techo Guide, the only app designed to help you navigate your college and career journey in the quickest and most affordable way. This podcast is brought to you by EdTechWitty, dedicated to opening doors to higher education and career opportunities for all.
Hey y'all, welcome to our What Would You Do series, where I get to ask professionals unscripted questions about what they would do to overcome obstacles in college and beyond. Today we have Professor G to ask a series of questions. Hey Professor G, so I'm going to the University of California, but they don't want to approve my FAFSA. What do I do?
So first things first is you want to document everything, right? Get that phone out, go into your notes and start typing in, when did you apply? The date you applied, did you submit, right? When did you receive like the SAR, the student aid report? When did you receive these other forms? And keep track of everything. I can't emphasize that enough. Colleges and universities are very poor at keeping your information like exact. They're going to lose things. That sometimes things are in one department and in another department and over here. And you got to figure out like, oh, damn, it was supposed to go to financial aid, but it went to student services. That's a different area. So now you got to figure out what the problem is. So first things first is always document everything. Secondly, once you apply for federal financial aid or the California Dream Act, whichever you apply for, it doesn't matter. You apply online first, and then you wait about 3 weeks. Okay, just wait, right? 21 days. As soon as 21 days hits, you remember, you're keeping notes. You put on your notes, on the third week, I'm going to go into that college where I'm at, and I'm going to start asking status questions for my financial aid. Okay. You have to ask a million times, be nice, be polite, but also be firm, right? Sometimes what I'll do when I was a student, even when I was a professional now, not really with financial aid, but with other areas, is I'll purposely show them I'm taking notes, right? The office, so that they know that I'm prepared, right? Because when they see that you're prepared, you're going to get treated very differently than someone who's completely lost. Someone who's completely lost, I've seen the financial aid offices at multiple colleges treat people like crap, not tell them exactly what the hell they need to do, and then just send them on their way. Eventually, that person doesn't get financial aid and then drops out of college. It's that crazy that still happens, right? So always be ready to ask financial aid office those tough questions of your status. And you ask it by semester. What's my financial aid status for my grants for summer? What's my financial aid status for fall? What's my financial aid status for spring? You have to ask it separately because each of them can change based on the classes you're taking, based on how many units you're taking, based on your residency status, based on your independent or dependent. There's all this crap that financial aid uses that could get confusing if you're not writing things down. Get everyone's name that you talk to. It doesn't matter if it's the person at the window. Just go, oh, hi, I'm Professor G. What's your name? And then write down their name, because when you write down their name on your note, they're going to see that. And when they're going to see that, now they have to provide you more accurate information. Okay? Ask them your status. What grants am I getting? What are the names of the grants I'm getting? What are the quantities of the grants that I'm getting? What can I use this money for? Is there anything else I should apply to? Is there anything else that I'm missing? When should I check in again? And if they tell you in 6 months, you go back a month later. And you have to do this kind of thing. And I hate to say it, but it's the dysfunction that exists within the entire system. Okay. It's not just the college that you're at. It's the state of California. It's the federal government. It is a nightmare to try and navigate all of the financial aid policies that exist as they pertain to you. Okay, so financial aid becomes kind of like another class. You're going to be visiting and talking to them probably more than you talk to your college counselor because of that kind of thing. And so as you're documenting, also share with your college counselor what's happening with your financial aid. Some college counselors don't ask you. That's terrible. They should be asking you, are you getting financial aid? Did you apply? Are you having a problem with financial aid, etc.? Because we know that there's problems all the time with that process, right? And it's not nothing new. It's been happening for 30 years, okay? So just get used to it. Accept the fact that it's a little crazy, a little chaotic, a little dysfunctional. So that's why you got to keep your notes. If you've done everything, right, to try and get financial aid, you're still getting denied. And let's say they don't give you a valid reason as to why they're denying you, right? Remember, financial aid is money for low-income families. Often you don't know you're low income until you apply for financial aid. That's how I found out I was low income. I applied for financial aid. They gave me a Pell Grant. I'm like, why? My grades aren't that good. And they're like, oh, it's because you're poor. I'm like, oh, okay. And so financial aid, like I said, sometimes you don't understand what they're doing. Most of the time you don't understand what they're doing, but because you're keeping track and because you're checking your status very often, it's like the squeaky wheel gets greased, right? The more squeaky you are, the more grease that's going to give you, right? And grease is the form of those grants. At the end of the day, right? It's not going to hurt you to send an email to the dean of financial aid, the dean of admissions, the dean, the vice president of student services, right? The administration, to let them know what's going on. Because I'll be honest with you, in some cases, I've had to tell students, look, you need to file a grievance. You need to file a complaint. What they're doing to you, man, it's like, it's sad. They've made you go back and forth 12 times, right? No one can get their crap together. You know what I mean? And in some cases, I've told students, yeah, you need to file a complaint, send an email to the president, the vice president, the dean, a board member if you have to, because what they're doing to you, they're doing it to everybody. And you need to make sure that someone gets, you need to get the attention of someone. And if they ignore you, that's when you have to put it in email, is you're putting it in writing. And, be nice, be polite, be professional. Use ChatGPT if you have to rewrite that email, that angry email that you're going to write, right? But also include those details, right? Like your student ID number, the horrible experience that you're having with the process at that particular college, and the lack of information and communication that they're having with you. Sometimes you have to complain to get action. They cannot retaliate against you. I'm going to be very clear about that. The colleges and universities, it is against the law for them to retaliate against you for bringing dysfunction to their attention. Okay, so make sure you are exercising your right as a student and that you are demanding answers, right? And in some cases, they're going to tell you you're denied because of X, Y, and Z. And then, okay, great, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Like, my income's way too high for me to get any aid, right? Oh, okay. Thank you, right? And be polite about it, right? But at the end of the day, you command that they treat you with respect and command that, they inform you of all the different grants that you're eligible or not eligible for, right? But it starts with you keeping very detailed notes. And then again, having that courage to go up to an office, check your status yet again, and making sure that they're on top of your file. I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you so much, Professor G.
Thank you for tuning into Techo Guide, the app focused on bringing you tools and content to help you make better decisions about school, life, and career. We hope this episode has inspired you to pursue and excel in your own educational and career journey. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share.